15 fence pickets and you get this. Love it. And here's my arsenal of tools, my weapons of choice. And we're going to mount these in a honeycomb pattern along the goat pen and have strawberries, 2 plants per, hanging over. All right, so we're gonna set up a stop block. I have a whole video on YouTube. It's a really simple thing, but it's a game changer. The simple things make life so much easier. I know my blade's nice and square, so I want to square off this edge. You never know what the factory edge is going to be. Here we go. So, I know I need 10-inch pieces. I need 6 of them to make my hexagon. So I make my mark at 10 inches. I'm going to put it on here, bring my blade down right on the mark. I'm going to hold it, and you can see where my stop falls short. I can't get here, so I put it way back here with a piece of scrap wood. You could screw this in, but this stops it, so it works great. Perfect. Put nice and tight. Boom. Just need 6 of these. If this is 60 degrees, 30 and 30, right? And I've set my table saw blade to 30 degrees. I got a 10-inch piece, and if you're gonna have a 30, it's gonna cut off a 1/4 inch. So I set my stop at 9 3/4. There, lock it in. And then you just have to think, when I'm putting this together, I'm gonna have a 30 this way and a 30 this way. So sometimes it helps the first piece to make a mark just to get your rhythm. But I'm excited because it's cost effective. It's a simple, easy build with these steps. I think anybody can make it. Another way you can do it, this little Ryobi compound miter, it's so nice. I can adjust this way or this way. I come back here, Ryobi makes it so easy. You just put it right on the 30, lock it in place. You're gonna set a stop block from your blade back 9 3/4, and then you'll bring your saw down and you'll get your 30. If you don't have a table saw or a compound miter saw, to get your 30, most jigsaws base plate adjust, so you just set this to your 30, and then you'd set your stop block here or your straight edge, and then so I got my 6 pieces cut at 30 degrees each side. Now we put it together. I'm using Titebond 3 because it's waterproof. This is an outside project. Why not? Titebond 2 is water resistant. I just thought, you know, why not go a little extra? Because the glue is what's going to hold this together. You want to get a nice solid cover of glue. Bring your 2 pieces together. I'm using 1-inch brads. So I'm using brads just to get the initial connection, and then I'll come back with staples to reinforce it. It's just fun to see this come together. You've all seen the strawberry towers, I think, you know, where it's big layer on the bottom. There's all kinds of designs. Big, smaller, 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 big tower of strawberry. That was my initial plan. Hexagons are really trendy. I like the looks of it. It has kind of a modern look. So I decided, okay, what's the most cost-effective way? Cedar's really expensive. You can get a cedar fence picket at Home Depot for $3.75. So for under 15 bucks, you can make 2 of these. And it's not limited to strawberries, but that's what I'm liking this for. Now we gotta add our little planter box. So to get my first planter piece cut, I oversimplified it. I just took this as far out, get this corner on like that. And again, I know these are 30-degree cuts, so I'm just tracing the piece. And I know that is going to be the perfect size. So I take it over to my little compound Ryobi. Make it easy with the numbers right there on the gauge. You just put your arrow. Because I already have a piece cut and I don't want to move I could just shift my blade over this way to the 30 to get this angle, because I've already got it set up, and just for the sake of time, if you line up, you know this is the right size. That way my line's going this way instead of this way, the way I have my saw set up. Just a time saver. And then we just attach it to our planter. Just want to make sure the sides are lined up. And I have my trim router. If I were to cut this long, just simple zip, make it nice and smooth, because these will fit together. I just did 4 brads. I'm gonna go back with staples. I'll show you that. Now all I need is that same piece as my hanger. I like this knot and this knot, like this side facing. It's really not that important, but just want to figure out what you want to be the back. And you could fill this whole back in, but we're going to be up against a fence. Just a waste of material. Price of cedar, you want to keep the material as minimal as possible. The Type Bond 3, and I used 18 gauge, 1 inch, at least an inch. So I did brads, and Type Bond 3 should be enough, but this I found in Georgia anyway, summers can be brutal. So although cedar is made to be rot resistant, weather resistant, pest resistant, it's still, I mean, it's wood, it deteriorates. So things we're gonna do to keep these glue joints solid is the brads, but we're gonna go back with a staple, and it just adds a little bit more structure at the joints for when it's 120 degrees and the humidity is crazy. Because wood will take in moisture in the summer and then expel it in the winter. So it's gonna move and shift. And cedar moves a lot, honestly. So I'm gonna take, not my 18 gauge brad, but my 18 gauge stapler. And this crown just is gonna give it that much more. It's gonna be more like a screw than just a simple brad. Because as this takes in moisture and expands, it'll bend, it'll move that little brad nail, which is good if it wasn't glued. So I'm just gonna put a couple staples in. Kaboom. Padow. You can put 3 in, doesn't matter. I'd rather do overkill. I really want these to last and have strawberries for years. Yeah, that's solid right there. This is what's gonna hold it, this back piece to the fence, so make sure you add some staples there. I like over-engineering. How cool is that? I gotta drill my holes on the bottom. When I did these holes, it doesn't matter what size you use. I had this chucked in my drill. It's my Craig bit. About the perfect size, I think. It's just for draining. I like one in the middle. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't have to be precise or anything. You just want good drainage at the bottom for your strawberries on a summer evening. I decided I was going to use 1 inch cabinet screws to screw them together, so I'll decide when I get them all done what the pattern's going to be. I'll just put a couple screws this way, and if I got it like this, a couple screws in here, and that will hold everything nice and tight together. I don't think I'll glue it in case I want to change the configuration down the road. I can just unscrew it and reposition. Just want to put a nice water guard on it. I like Olympic. Another thing you can do is like a weed sprayer. Fill it up and then just spray it. If I had one ready to go, that's what I would do, but you can just brush it on, just as simple. Really excited how this one turned out. That's the configuration I went with, but you can rearrange them however you want. Looks good on the fence. Installing, just adding a few deck screws to secure it to the fence. It's so funny, the goats have to headbutt everything new, so they're trying to get to it. But I can't wait to show you a picture of this with strawberries all over. Just put a backer board for support and then fill it full of dirt, plant some strawberries. I envision the strawberries hanging over. I love it.